Hello. Today we're going to cover how to create a new knowledge base article in Cherwell. To get things started, I actually want to pull up a knowledge base article that goes over this issue in detail. So to search, we're going to go to the top right, the search bar here, and I happen to know that the article I want is article 11517. I'm just going to hit enter. And here's what I want right here. So now we've got this pulled up, let's just go through it real quick. So as I said before, this article covers the creation of a new knowledge base article in the Cherwell system. So as it first points out, the first thing we're going to do is go to the New tab and select New Knowledge Article. That would be right here on this New. You want to click this little side drop down and select Knowledge Article. If you happen to be in the knowledge base article at the time, you can also just hit the New button, which will automatically bring up a new article to create. After we have the new form, we need to go about filling it out. So here we see we need to fill out the title, description, and keywords. Our title is going to be in this top field. Here you just want to write the actual title of the article and what it's going to be used for. To the right, we can see the description. Here you want to put a couple sentences or a small paragraph that just better describes the key thing of what this article is meant to do. Then we have keywords. Keywords are going to be used to help with search optimization. You just want to put in the main topics or kind of important words that come throughout your article. So in this one, we've got knowledge, knowledge base, article, how to, just common phrases you want to put in there to help be able to find the article easier. Once we have all of those, we need to go ahead and make the full body of our article. That's going to come in this section here. And there are two ways you can do that. You can either go ahead and jump over to a like Microsoft Word application or another text editor, or if you want to try to do it in Cherwell, you can use this little green pencil here, and it's going to pop it out so then you can expand and then edit and write all the different things here. Regardless of where you're going to make the article, there are a few things you want to make sure to keep in mind. Preferably, you want to use a Arial font and try to keep that font size 12. Whenever possible, you want to make use of bullet points because that just helps make things a little easier to read. Remember, you can use bolding or using bold font to call attention to important actions or keywords that you want to make sure aren't overlooked. If you have a longer document, you want to use headers to break up the different parts of your article. And then remember, you can use your snipping tool to take selected screenshots and pictures that you can then use to better illustrate what needs to be done or what's happening in your article. However, keep in mind that when you put an image in there, just to keep things clean, you want to have a space of text, just an enter, either before or after. Just that way you've got it at the beginning and the end to make sure it looks clean and to make sure those pictures are centered. So once you have your whole text fill in, you either have it here using the green pencil or you've written it over in Microsoft Word or a similar program. You're going to copy that and paste it into this section here. Once you have all that, we need to make sure that we have the correct categorization set. So if you come over here, here's our categorization section. This top bar is the service. You just want to make sure that the article fits into the proper service umbrella that you're writing the article about. And then you go about filling out the category and subcategory. Now, category will just kind of be another section inside of the underneath service umbrella. And then in certain situations, you'll have a subcategory to better define what the article is about, but it's not always going to be required. Now, if you look underneath these categorizations, you'll see these two boxes, visible to campus and visible to IT students. So if either one of these are checked, it's gonna change who can look at this article. So visible to campus means anyone with a TCU ID can log into the self-service portal and access our knowledge base, and this article is gonna be visible to them. If we uncheck this and only have visible to IT students, that's just gonna make it where our IT student workers are gonna be able to see it, but not everyone on campus. Regardless if these boxes are checked or not, anyone who is part of the IT support team, that's as part of staff, is going to be able to see these. Next, we're going to need to take ownership and select which audience this is going to be meant for. So ownership is right here. Easiest way to take ownership is just to click this Take Ownership button. That's going to automatically assign it to your team and underneath your name. And then the audience is a little bit further down here. We can see basically what is this article geared towards. It could be geared for both faculty and staff or retiree issue, or it might just be more of a student or applicant issue that we're going to see. This is just going to be kind of what main group does this issue tend to impact most often. Another thing you want to take note here is that we see this submit for approval or save. So once you have everything written, you're going to want to save it, and you can either save it as a draft or go ahead and submit for approval. First, you'll probably want to save everything first, and whether you feel it's confident or not, you can go ahead and submit it. But you'll also see this review date. So our articles are built in here are going to be set to be reviewed normally a year out in the future. So every year you have to kind of reevaluate the knowledge-based articles you've created just to make sure that they are up to date and that the information in there is still valuable. So now that we've covered this knowledge-based article and we've got a good idea of how to do it, let's go ahead and make one for ourselves. So our first step was coming up to new and then select new knowledge article. And it's going to go ahead and give us a blank document here. So first thing you want to do is go ahead and set out the title. So I'm just going to put a generic title in here. Then we want to go ahead and make a description. And then our keywords. We're just going to fill out what this is going to be about. Now we're going to go ahead and fill out the main body of the article. For this, like I said, you can either write this in another document or use the green pencil, or you can just type it in generically if the formatting is already correct here. Okay, we've got the whole everything filled out here. So now we need to go ahead and fill out the categorization. So what service umbrella is your article going to fall under? In this case, I'm just going to use training, since that's what this video is about. For category, I'm going to do one-on-one, and you see for subcategories, it's either request documentation or request training. I'm actually just going to leave it blank on this one. Our next step here is to article type, as in what kind of article is this? You can have either basic information if you're just sharing something. A known error is going to be something we've known about and documented how to fix. And step-by-step is going to be just walking you through the step of how to finish a process. In this case, I'll count this one as step-by-step. Then we could check whether we want it to be visible to campus or visible to IT students. In this case, let's say I want our IT students to be able to see it, but I don't want all of campus to see this article. So I'm going to leave this unchecked. Next, I want to go ahead and take ownership. So I'm going to select the Take Ownership button. You'll see it automatically come to me, and there's my name. And then what audience is this for? Let's say this is for faculty and staff, but it doesn't really apply to students. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as a draft. You see I forgot to check the article types. Let me grab that. There we go. Try that again. I'm going to save this as a draft. And now that it's saved, you'll see the blue check mark, and this blue save disk up here is going to turn gray, so nothing's changed. And at this point, I could either leave it and come back to it, or if I felt confident, I could go ahead and submit for approval, where it'll then go to the knowledge team to either be approved or sent back to you for revisions. So let's say I save it as a draft, and then later on, I want to come back and find it. So how you do that is if you're on your main home dashboard, if you look over in the right underneath your kind of KB section here, you've got your My Knowledge Base drafts. So this is where anything you're working on is going to be saved here. You've got your KBs up for revisions. These are ones you submitted but haven't been approved yet. And then your total knowledge base articles are just going to be over here. So if you want to go back to your drafts, you can click on them there, and then you'll see all the different articles you've been working on. And then you can go ahead and open it back up and keep working until you're ready to submit. So that is how you make a knowledge base article in Cherwell.